Cynthia Mkhombo is the founder and current CEO of Masana. It's a contract cleaning company which opened its doors in 2004. In 2010, CEO Magazine called her one of the most influential women in business and professional services. Wow. I think, Cynthia, when you start out with only 7 employees and grow the company to a point where you can make breadwinners out of over 2,000 people, that's a story that deserves applause and recognition. You had already been a qualified health inspector, and it seems like suddenly everything came together and puzzle fit in this idea that you had.
You know, I always say that whatever that you do, be it small, be it big, it's always preparing you for something. And all of a sudden I had to say, do we have a telephone line? Do we have people? Do we have this? And I think the preparation of everything for some of the big corporations in South Africa helped a lot.
What are some of the other characteristics in not only yourself, but in your experiences that are absolutely critically valuable?
I think I'm able to motivate people. I'm able to lead by example, because I always say to my team, I can do it, you can do it. I remember, earlier on when the company started, I literally would go out there to those sites. I used to do everything from sweeping a floor if maybe one staff member is not there, to running the payroll, to going out there, getting customers, delivering the stock and all of that. So one of the biggest attributes that we need as entrepreneurs, as people, is to be able to motivate your team.
You had to, I imagine, also be visible to your employees.
Yes.
That if this is good enough for you, it's good enough for me.
Yes, I've always been visible. Earlier on, I think up to when we had about 300 staff members, I probably knew almost all of them. And it's like I'd walk anywhere, they say, oh, the boss, they call me sister boss. Sister boss is here. And then they start doing what they're supposed to do and all that. So it's always, for me, this industry is really about people.
And about being connected to the people in your organization. You look back at whether you were free financially or not at various points. Talk us through that journey of financial freedom for you.
You meet your obligations and you're able to sleep at night knowing that I didn't rob anyone, I didn't cheat anyone, I paid everyone who I'm supposed to pay.
What is the hardest financial lesson you learned?
Don't spend the money that you don't have.
How do you start financially preparing for growth?
You need to have the right cash flow, the right money, the right partners to make sure that you carry your business through.
I imagine that those days are behind you now.
Not entirely.
So the journey continues.
The
challenges keep continuing.
Yes.
Even though you're successful, even though you're established, are you still worried about failure?
There will always be questions of, am I doing the right things? And you always question yourself. But what keeps me awake, I think it's more on a positive side. 4 or 5 years ago, we started a bursary fund, and we're funding the children of our staff members. And this year, we're funding 10 children.
How do you save? What are you thinking about in terms of your future and the kind of life you want to have?
I was fortunate enough to have an uncle that when I first started working, I started working when I was 21. The first thing that he did was to say, you need to save for your retirement. And I'm like, I'm 21. Yeah. I still have another 20 years, 40 years and all that. And I started saving then up to this day. In terms of retirement, I do that. I'm also saving for my children because I've got 3 children. They need to go through university and we need to save for our future. You never know what's going to happen.
What was the name of that uncle?
Uncle Jonah.
We all need an Uncle Jonah, I say.
Even if it's 10 rands a month, you need to save. It's what I tell my kids as well. The earlier you start saving, the better.
What kinds of things should people be thinking about?
I'm doing, I've got unit trust. I'm also, through the whole insurance route. And I'm also doing a bit of stock exchange.
Should somebody who is self-actualizing their business be afraid of new players in the same market?
Not at all. I'm not afraid of competition. I just think that there's enough for everyone.
What is your life philosophy now, as you look back on the journey that you've traveled in the way that you have?
I'd say I'd just sum it up with the words of Nelson Mandela: it always looks hard until it's done. And I just think that if we can just look at life and say, we can all do it in a small way, in a big way, it can be done. Everything.